Hey everybody, Matt Geary here for the Geek Pride cast on this Monday evening. With me, as always, we have my co-host, JonJo Cosgrove.
Good evening, everyone.
With a mighty tash this evening, JonJo. What a mighty tash. I like it. It's very nice. No Peter tonight, unfortunately. He is ill. He has got the lurgy, so no Pete. Is just I, Mr. JonJo Cosgrove, and our special guest this evening, Kelly Burke.
Hello.
So, Kelly, who are you? What do you do? What's your thing?
I'm Kelly. I'm an actor. I do a little bit of everything.
Straight to the point. So,
it really is a little bit of everything. It's all over the place.
For all of us who have been living under a rock, what would we know you from?
Well, the thing I think you reached out to me about was Chronos, the New Dawn. There, JonJo's got it.
Yep, I've got my copy of the game in hand. Yep.
That's the most recent big thing. So I do a fair bit of video game voiceover and various other voiceover, and then other kinds of acting as well. But Chronos is kind of the special thing that's happening at the moment.
So what got you into voice acting?
Well, I wanted to be an actor from the time I was taken to the theater as a 12-year-old. You know, I went that. And my well-meaning family kept trying to convince me to do something practical. And I was like, no, that. And then basically ran off and joined the circus and have been doing it ever since. Not the literal circus, but, you know. And I guess the voice work was just sort of a... one facet of that developed over time, because I think because I'm in the business, because I love it, you want to be as busy as you can be, and you also want to work as widely as you can in terms of getting your teeth into different kinds of things, different subjects as well as formats. So I think part of the curiosity is just like, what else? How else can we play? And so the voice work developed over time. Well, I came to the UK for drama school, and when I left drama school, the acting strand and the voice strand kind of started running in parallel.
So what was your first experience of acting? What was your first, either like your first job or your first actual role that you had?
My first real job. I thought you were...
Well, first time you actually acted, whether that was like on stage or on the screen, and then like your first professional gig as well.
I can't believe I'm saying this live on air, but I did a thing called the Dinosaur Musical.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with dinosaurs and musicals.
No, I was a French-made dinosaur. Obviously, I didn't write this thing. And I had a song about my boyfriend, the Stegosaurus, who didn't love me well. And I remember the lyric, which was, I'm fully aware his brain compares to, say, a walnut or a pea. He's a little dim, but still I fell for him. I'm like 10, right? What do I know about these things? But it was so earnest. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I'm just looking at your...
I can't believe I've just done that. Nice to meet you guys.
I was just looking at your IMDb.
Please tell me, Matt. Please tell me you saw the credit, I think, from 2012.
The 2012 credit.
Shoot. Well,
a certain TV show that was very popular in the UK called Doctors.
Oh, yes, Doctors. Oh, yeah. Wow.
So before we say any more of it, Kelly, do you remember the name of your character from Doctors?
Soup. She was called Soup.
Campbell Soup Wachowski.
Wachowski.
What a name. What a name.
She was really cool. I liked her.
You've got like
I had purple braces.
We have Sorry, carry on.
No, just I got up to to wardrobe, and they were like, "So this is what we were thinking," and it was, Keds and baggy jeans and a sweatshirt and purple braces, and I was like, I have never looked this cool in my life. It was so much fun.
Well, I think your opus has to be Justin Bieber Limitless.
Oh gosh, yeah.
My missus loves Justin Bieber. Absolutely loves him. She's going to be buzzing. Wow.
I mean, that was just a documentary voiceover.
We've got, though, Justice. You're in Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. How was that? How was that? Did you meet him?
Yeah. We were there was a group of us who were all doing the same things, and I think in the final thing you don't see very much of us at all. But we were on set for a long time. We were hostages that the Justice League saves really early on. So I was this like not airport, excuse me. What's
Air
the word
Force?
I'm looking...
Air Force security.
Air Force. Air Force is
security,
what I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Air Force security.
Yeah, and so they're. Sorry, it was a long time ago now, so I'm trying to pull out what might be interesting from the thing, but that was what 2012, yeah.
Yeah, well, 20.
No, not quite as long ago as that. It was not as long ago as
2017
yeah.
with the I think they had the Snyder Cut in 2021.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
So then what happened when Joss Whedon came on board was we reshot a lot of what we'd shot before. So having finished it, we then went back and rebuilt some of that.
Right. I see.
So.
And
then there was less of it, but you're not in there to. We were never going to be the focal point in that, but it was a lot of fun. So.
Oh, you were in Secret Invasion as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, okay. American news presenter, uncredited.
That's right. Oh yeah, that was an admin thing that we never were able to get fixed.
Oh,
God. It's interesting. Working on Justice League and working on Secret Invasion, so doing a DC project and a Marvel project. So
they didn't disqualify me from either one because
look at your CV, Marvel. No.
I was just about to say, if you had to pick, which one did you prefer? But I don't know. Does that sound a bit mean, or can you?
Well, I had a lot more work on the Justice League project, so I preferred that one because I was there more often. And well, that's also true. But you get to they were doing a camera shot that they hadn't quite tried before, and I don't know if I'm going to explain this correctly because I suddenly don't know if I can say this because of my NDA, so I might.
Yeah, okay, that's okay.
I
don't
might
get yourself
not
into trouble.
tell you that story.
I was just about to say, if there's anything that shouldn't be said, that's fine. We're happy with the mystery.
I'm going to err on the side of safety, and just in case, we did get to do some cool things, and Secret Invasion was much more just kind of perfunctory.
Yeah. Well, I love that word.
So,
but there's a lot of credits there, but the one that I think probably first really remember of your work was the video game The Medium, which was
I loved The Medium.
2021. I remember playing this game pretty much on day one. It was during I think it was like our third COVID lockdown, so there was plenty of time to play through that game, and I absolutely loved it. I'm a big fan of horror games, and I particularly like horror when it's a new IP. I like to dive into a new world. Resident Evil, Silent Hill, games like that I do really enjoy. But when you actually get to play something that you're not familiar with, you're taking on a new world, new characters. It is incredible. So I guess my first question is,
I'd never seen that split screen at the same time thing. I thought that was
that's
so
that's what
cool.
I was gonna ask. So when you were doing that, obviously because the work was voiceover, was it also motion capture for
I was
Medium as well?
supposed to do the mocap, but the pandemic So what ended up happening was I was doing the voice remotely in London, and they had someone in Poland doing the mocap, who I think was sensational. Her work in that is gorgeous, I think.
Mm.
And she made some choices that like I wouldn't necessarily have thought of, but then you see them and you're like, oh yes, that's so Marianne. Like there's a gesture that I don't quite know how to describe that's just not quite in my normal physical vocabulary, so it never would have occurred to me. And I'm like, yes. So it was really exciting, getting to put those two things together. I did the face capture, um, so we did that in the London studio. But all of that was, you come in and you're keeping a wide distance, and you have to put the kit on yourself, and they've sterilized everything before you come in, and they sterilize everything after you, and it was it was that time. So yeah.
So so recorded it during COVID.
Hmm.
I mean, that must have been quite challenging to, you know, produce this work while you are, isolated away from the rest of the team. So when you finally saw the game itself, when you actually saw the completed package, did it feel like that you had been away from the other guys? Did it feel like you had been in your own bubble almost while they were making it on their side, or did it always feel like it was a good collaboration all the way through?
No, that's one of the really beautiful things about Bloober Team that I experienced the first time, and even more this time, was that they were so hands-on, and they really wanted us to be a team. So it didn't feel like there was that separation. The mocap stuff was all done, obviously I didn't
Mm,
see any of that work taking place, and we did a lot of the voice after most of the animation was in place, if I'm remembering correctly. But but they made sure I had a full script, which is wonderful. That doesn't always happen, and it lets you do much more detailed work, because you can build an arc when you've been able to read all the way through the thing, right?
Indeed,
And
yeah, yeah.
they had so many really meaty thoughts about Marianne's backstory, and that's a fun space to play in too. So they all really wanted to talk to me about Marianne, and I really wanted to talk to them about Marianne. So we had a lot of kind of Marianne theoretical love fests. And then I saw that trailer, and she comes in on the motorcycle. I'm like, oh, like I want to be this woman. I wish I was this cool. Yeah. So-
and what I like as well with Bloober Team's work is that, they are based in Poland, and their last three original IPs, so Chronos, Medium, and Observer, they are all set in Poland. So it's
Mm.
there is a nice feeling of familiarity, and it's almost like they are putting a spotlight on their home country, which is really nice. And do you feel that there is a lot of love for their own country in their work?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Chronos, the New Dawn, is based on Nowohuta, which I think means New Dawn in Polish, and um, uh, was built as a kind of communist utopia that then wasn't actualized. So that tower with the anomaly splitting it through the middle, where it's kind of hanging, is a real structure.
Mm,
Um, this isn't Chronos, but because I was out in Krakow for the mocap and some of the voice recording on Chronos, they took me specially to look at Marianne's apartment, which is a real building.
oh wow.
Amazing.
So we went on a tiny medium tour, and they pointed me at several of the things that you see in the medium, and that was delicious.
Amazing.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
Absolutely amazing.
brilliant.
Yeah, we didn't get to go out to Nowohuta, but it was on the cards. Um, so.
But oh no, that's great. Also as well, just one more thing on the medium, because it was I think it was a quite popular game. There was a lot of people I know really enjoyed it, and I think a few months ago there was talk about a potential film adaptation of the medium as well. And I just wanted to know if one, if you had heard anything about it, and two, if there was an option to get you to star in it, would you audition for that part?
Oh my gosh, I would in a second. Um, I'm I am so deeply fond of Marianne, like so fond of Marianne. But I have no more information on that project than you do. I heard
Ah,
about it in passing, and I was like,
it's another
What is
NDA,
that? Is
Matt.
that happening?" No, it's not even that. It's just I I only
Mm.
heard secondhand, and then was sort of like, oh, can I play? Can I play?
Me.
Absolutely. I can ride a motorcycle. I can't, but I'd learn. I'd like
Just do the Joey
Oh,
thing
who
from
was it?
Friends, where he says
Yeah.
he can do a load of shit he can't.
Who was there was an actor, weren't there, a few years ago, who said, "Oh, you know, I'm proficient in horse riding." And as soon as they got on the horse, they went, "I don't know how to ride."
Well,
I can't
there's a
remember.
story about there's like an actor who was on Saving Private Ryan, and he pretended he was American, and he pretended he could do all this stuff, and he turned up and he got the job, and he couldn't do any of it, and he was right beside like Tom Hanks on the beach, and he basically had to own up to Tom Hanks on the beach that he couldn't do. One, he was English, American, and two, that he couldn't do any of this stuff. The Tom Hanks had to basically talk him through it all.
Oh God.
It was on the Graham Norton show, because I think he was on the red chair, and he was talking to Tom Hanks about it because he remembered him.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I think now we can talk about Chronos, because yeah, we've gone through some of the other bits. So Chronos New Dawn, it is can't believe it's already been out 3 months, that game.
I know.
It's that time has gone by really quick. So it's as Bloober Team are very good at. It's a brand new IP. It's another horror game that is very thought provoking. There is some quite there is quite a lot going on.
Mm.
So what appealed to you to take the part of the lead of the Traveler?
Firstly, they asked, and I loved them, so I would do anything that they, um, you know, like you don't have to tell me anything else about this. Just let me come play. So that was the big draw, and then they kind of sketched it out to me, and we made several tests just to make sure that um, what I was thinking and what I was physically capable of were in line with their their vision. Um, yeah, and then we got to make it. So that was a joy.
um, so again, it's set in Poland, but unlike the medium, which was more about going between different realities, this is about going back and forth in time,
Mm.
and it's a
Chronos is
good.
the god of time.
He is indeed.
Very
Um,
good.
See, it's history lessons as well tonight.
There you go. I was just finished Stephen Fry's Mythos, so I was talking about.
So what I like about this is that there is a lot of thought into how the time travel goes. So
Yeah.
the traveler is obviously given the mission, trying to stop what has happened. These creatures that are when I was first playing it, it felt very Dead Space. A lot of these monsters that are just coming
Right.
out, and but after a little while playing it, I could really feel there was a distinction between how they acted compared to how the creatures in Dead Space went. So when you were making the game, when you were doing all the mocap stuff, when you're doing the
Mhm.
voice acting, did you get to see a lot of the concept for how your character was going to look, but also how the monsters were going to look?
We had a couple references for the monsters, but not many, and not until a little bit later on. Um, and there was a mock-up of the Traveler. So and it was largely complete, I think. So when we were in the mocap studio, there were there's the screen that is showing what the computers read from all the sensors. So it's just your literal outline. And I was wearing um various bits of padding so that I could hold the shape of the character slightly better because you know, she's it's big and I'm not so much. So, but if you say in that suit, if I let the arm fall to my side, it's going to collapse the visual space and she's not going to look right. So I've got stuff built into the mocap suit that's keeping my arms from touching my body and things like that. So you've got the literal mock-up of you that is from what all the sensors are reading, and they could juxtapose what they had of the traveler animation onto that sometimes, so I could test certain gestures, or will it read if I do this with the hand, or how wide does this gesture need to be in order um, to make this make sense, or to make this look like it has sufficient power behind it. Um, the the neck doesn't move, and oh, that gave me so much trouble because so much of some of this was my own doing, and some of this was conceptual and hard from the outset. But when you're doing things like when you're building the character through mocap, there are um, a set of tools that you're relying on to connect with the audience, right? So the first of those is going to be the face, and I had no face, so we weren't working with that. And then the next is the voice, and I'd chosen something way at the bottom of my range, you know. So I had like knocked out most of my expressive potential because I was just scraping the bottom of my range. So you don't have that scope, which I think was the right choice for her, but again is making it slightly more difficult to build that bridge to the player. And then you would rely on like the neck for all of those little micro movements, because you know, if you think about um, if you have an idea or if you're sad about something, the chin just moves a little bit, or the head tips down, or and so none of that was on offer either. So we spent a long time trying to figure out what the emotional language of that animated body was, and it ended up being really based in the breath. We had a fascinating philosophical conversation about whether she actually breathes or just thinks she breathes.
Nerds.
It was important though, because like, does she feel real pain? You know, or is it theoretical pain, or is it so? How is the body impacted by this experience versus this experience? So it was a lot of breath, and a lot of it went into the hands, because the hands were live and articulate, so you could do small work there.
Well, that was it, because I was going to say, because from playing the game, I do notice that the Traveller does, you know, like you say, there is no face; it is just the dome that's on the suit. So yeah, you are acting more with your body and with your movements. And there are times when, you know, when the Traveller is possibly experiencing this pain, she's on her knees, or she, you know, she's sort of like trying to grab onto something, and it's a strange way to see that emotion being conveyed in a, you know, not through the face, not through expressions, but through movement and through, you know, the look of pain or the look of frustration that's being thrown through the body. So I mean, that must be a very interesting way to act when you know that, you know, you're not doing it from this bit, but you're doing it from everything else.
It was a great challenge, but also a big challenge, because I think film, the whole body needs to be live, but it's so much smaller. And unless you're doing something really extreme, like that scene you're talking about with her on her knees, which we went over several times, was so exhausting, because like the whole body's in tension, and like it's fun to work that way because
Mm.
you don't get too often. But it was very kind of wonderfully different from a lot of what I get to do. So.
And it's the interactions as well between you and other characters. So when you do your when the traveler's going back into the 80s trying to find these people that she believes is going to help save the world, and it's, you know, their reactions. So some of them are scared as anything. They're panicking over like what they're seeing in front of them, and your character is pretty much trying to stay without emotion, but is trying to get the point across to them, going, look, I need your help. And it's an interesting fact when it's interesting thing when you can see that, you know, you've got yourself who's trying to be stern, you're trying to be straightforward with these guys, and they are just doing anything but. And it's quite fun to see that interaction between you and these other characters.
Yeah, well, and she, over the course of the game, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to do this without any real spoilers.
I mean, as long as we don't actually give away the end game, I think we're all right.
But I think it's safe to say that, you know, she starts thinking she is only function and understanding herself as machine. And I think as the game goes on and she does start having those experiences of both physical and emotional pain, like those humanizing experiences, like she kind of catches feelings from those people that she meets, quite literally, you know, she's processing them into her psyche. But I think it's both traumatic for her and wonderful, you know.
There's a book I'm reading. Well, I've just finished actually, called The Mercy of Gods. There's the guys who did what's it called, sci-fi series I absolutely love.
Not The Expanse, is it?
Expanse, yeah. So this their new one, and under a pseudonym, but it's them. And there's a character in it called the Swarm, which is basically like an AI. Have you heard about it?
No, but I just had a glimpse of where you might be pointing. So please
yeah.
keep
So
going.
it sort of has a it's an AI that has been. I don't even know if people read it or not, but they should do, because it's, you know, it's really good. You know, if you haven't seen The Expanse as well, you should 100% see or read it. But it's sort of it's a robot effectively, or it's an AI, and its whole purpose is sort of it's a task to sort of infiltrate the enemy and learn and then sort of provide information so its creators can defeat said enemy. But over time, it sort of takes over the bodies of people and then takes on their emotions and then takes on their experiences. And it has this sort of thing where it starts to humanize over time, and it starts having conflicts on the feelings, and then it's got these really good points where it's like turning them on, and it keeps them on. So it can turn these feelings off, but it keeps them on because it kind of enjoys the experience of all these different emotions and stuff. So this like this thing has now humanized. So it just, when you were talking about it, it sort of reminded me of that. It's just sort of like over time it just sort of becomes more human, and even the bad stuff it sort of kind of engages itself with, because talking about, because I've listened to it on audiobook. You have such an awesome sort of voice. Do you do audiobooks? Have you ever done audiobooks?
Oh, I've done so many audiobooks. I do a lot of audiobooks.
Have you got any? Have you done any that we might know of?
I've done an awful lot of romance.
Okay.
There was a period where I was doing a lot of vampire romance, but that's
you know what? This is the thing. If Pete had been on here, he would have been all over that.
Yeah, Pete, we have a
is-
running joke that when Pete's on, we can't go through you can't go through a day with Pete without him mentioning something vampires or something like that. But yeah, he would have absolutely loved this.
I'll tell you what, though, if you can send us some links later, then we'll pass them on to him. So I'm sure he'll be more than happy to listen to them.
Well, the vampire books were several years ago, so I think one has hopefully, it's a technique as much as everything else, and you hope that you're getting better all the time. So, but yeah, and it's a real mix there as well. So, I just narrated a really fascinating book called Addiction by Design,
Oh, awesome.
which is by an American academic called Natasha Schull, who's looking at how gambling machines are designed to encourage continued engagement. What apparently that gaming industry calls playing to extinction, which
Oh, wow.
is, comforting. So that was a fascinating book. I'm about to narrate a biography of Marilyn Monroe.
Wow.
Wow.
There are any number of novels in the middle. I'm also about to narrate a novel where with two unlikely lovers stuck together on a desert island. So
And one turns out to be a vampire. Come on, please don't. One turns out to be a vampire.
No vampires. No vampires in that one.
Repeat. Yeah. How do you go about with the audio recording for books and things? Do you do it in sections? Do you
in marathons?
Oh wow, okay, right.
Yeah. So if you're in a studio, you'll do probably 2, 3, or 4 hour sessions a day.
Wow.
If I'm at home, I will go until I can't sometimes, depending on there was a book I did a few months ago, and I'd gotten really sick, so I lost some of my recording time. So I then, in order to meet my deadline, had to pull like a 14-hour recording day, and that
Ooh.
hurt. But that's not typical.
So talking about your recordings and the work you've been doing, so we know that Chronos is now out there, that's out in the world. What is the next project? Is there anything that you can possibly share, or something that is under another NDA? I don't know.
No, there is, but I can't share. I'm
So
sorry.
it's an NDA. See, I told you. I
know.
So, and that's going to be my other thing, because Bloober Team at the moment, because last year they released the Silent Hill 2 remake, and I'm very excited for this. They are doing a remake of the first Silent Hill as well.
Freak me out, that game.
Yeah, I mean, the first Silent Hill is fantastic. It's aged, but I cannot wait to see. I'll see. I'm not going to ask you if you're part of it, but would you want to be part of it if Bloober Team asked you?
I would do anything Bloober Team asked me to do.
I mean, we can say that as we want.
Sweet people, and so earnest. They have so much integrity in how they set about building these worlds, and just like the plot care, the desire to really make something meaningful. So they go, we know we're working in the horror genre, but it's not superficial. Why do we turn to horror? We turn to horror to grapple with the things that we're most afraid of in our human experience. So what does that mean in our game storytelling? They're just so full of passion and integrity, and just such lovely humans. I can't say enough nice things about these guys. Not all guys.
So also as well, just talking about not just Bloober, but video games in general. Are you a video gamer yourself?
Not so much, but that's mostly a function of having led quite a peripatetic life up to this point, and so not really had the equipment and been largely in this suitcase or that suitcase. I've started more recently um,
So have you
watching some
played any of your
playthroughs and
games? Like,
things.
if you've had a dabble, have you
I'm
played?
not good enough.
Yeah, no.
Bloober sent us a controller for Chronos, and I can't move on. So I've had to watch somebody else play because I'm also dyspraxic, so fine motor is not the thing that I'm best at. So
Mm.
um, I've discovered that probably watching other people's playthroughs is a better way for me to access this world than attempting to do it myself. Um,
How does it feel seeing yourself? Well, it's not yourself. Obviously, you're hearing your voice as that other character in the games.
mm, um, Varyingly weird. It's fun to see the work you've done with other people. It's fun to see the things we built in the mocap studio animated. It's like, oh, that's that gesture that took us 20 times to get right because we didn't know if it should be the left hand or the right hand or the. And then I had a friend earlier today. We rather beautifully, the game's been nominated for in several categories at the Horror Game Awards. So somebody sent me a gift today of this moment on the tram of like touching the dead traveler. And I was like, oh my gosh, that took us so long, and this gift makes it so easy.
But one thing I did notice, because I am a massive video game fan, and when the Game Award nominations come out, I was
Mm.
surprised not to see anything really for Chronos, because everyone I know that's played the game absolutely loves it. They really enjoy the story, they really enjoy the gameplay, and it's a shame when some of these games do get overlooked. But like you say, it's had nominations in other categories, in other competitions. So it is good to see that people are acknowledging what is good about the game, and that hopefully this will build on its legacy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is really exciting that there's so much fan love for it, because again, there's so much team love for it. I think all of us who got to work on it are so tremendously fond of it. And I think really it, it's about the experience that the community's having with it rather than the the awards thing, because that kind of lives off in its own little universe. But the people who've been engaged with it and who've now Blue, I'm sure Bluebird's only forwarding me the nice things. Um, so I've probably not seen a representative sample of the feedback because people are genuinely good. So nobody's really going, oh, Kelly, did you see this thing about this person who just hated you in this? No, nobody's sending me that stuff.
Yeah,
Although, it'll exist because we're all individuals with different tastes.
yeah. It's they say you shouldn't read your comments on sort of
No,
videos, and you should just leave it.
no.
But I don't think I could
Or
help
reviews.
it. Yeah, I think.
Like, a bad review can be soul destroying, and a good review is never good enough. So just avoid. If there's anything you really need to know, somebody will tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
Going into going into Christmas, going into New Year, I reckon there's going to be more people that are going to discover Chronos and are going to
Oh yeah, of
get into the
course.
game. If you were to see someone and they said, why should I play the game? What would be your main selling point for it?
Oh, I mean, I've already given you a
Apart from what we've
variation
already
on this,
mentioned in the last 40
but
minutes, but yeah.
yeah, well, because I really do think that the coolest part of the game is the world building, like the story that they've made, which um took me so long to unpick, and we got to the end of the 2 weeks of mocap, and I was still going, so this is this, right? This is how this works, right?
Do they explain the story to you? Do they explain what's happening, or do they just give you
because it
scenes?
doesn't.
Yeah.
It does. In this case, again, I had the whole script, so I got to work through it and come to them with all my questions because they don't want. Some projects are so nervous about confidentiality that you're only given what you absolutely need, but that doesn't really take into consideration that context can enrich your work so much.
Yeah.
And it really mattered to them that we understood because, if I don't know what I'm doing, how is the player going to have any hope, right? 'Cause, and I think it's so much harder to care if I can't invest and I'm the bridge between the person with the controller and the world, then we've broken the first link, So I really appreciated how eager they were to make sure we were all living in the same world, which isn't quite an answer to your question, but I do think that probably I would encourage people to play because the world and the story are so cool and like usefully dark. I think this is a post-pandemic game, although although they insist that the change wasn't modeled on COVID. It's impossible for us to approach anything in these post-COVID years without that resonance in because we've all lived that together. And then the question is, so how do we now survive together? What is worth saving now, and how should we be with each other? Which I think is what it's grappling with at its core. What is our duty to each other? That's a little grand and romantic, but
Beautiful.
I thought it was a good answer.
I feel passionately about this. So.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
So away from video games, away from work, what do you do to relax? What helps you get over a day of recording?
That's a lovely question. I'm a keen reader.
Favorite authors?
Niche, but Jean Reese is probably my favorite author. Good Morning Midnight is my favorite of hers, although White Sargasso Sea is probably the most famous. So,
Interesting. Yep.
I just read Marina Abramovich's memoir, which was fascinating.
Are you a physical reader or are you an audiobook person?
I definitely a physical reader. I do so many audiobooks that it's a little harder for me to enjoy listening to audiobooks. I also really like to be in control of the pace at which I'm doing something.
Interesting.
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
harder to do with an audiobook. And an audiobook also makes a lot of decisions for you. And because reading is my...
As in for like how you sort of see the description in your head.
Mm-hmm. And how you envision the characters and the tempo of the characters and even the visual representation of the characters, right? Because the voice can give you an awful lot of information about how big a character is, right?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, like voice, like I listen, like I love reading. It's generally sort of historical narratives, but I also like sort of obviously science fiction and fantasy as well, being a super nerd as I am. But there's a lot of books that I've read, and because I don't have enough time with lots of other things going, I found that listening to audiobooks, because I'm always driving my daughter places back and forth. I can always get that reading in, so I buy the book because I need the physical thing, so I've got it in my bookshelf. But then I'll listen to it, sort of going back and forth the places, and so I get more reading inverted commas in. But
absolutely.
But the voice. And I can see why you probably get hired a lot, because a voice is super important, like really, really, really important. We've had authors, and I'll not name the books or anything, but we've had authors on here, and their books sound amazing, and I was like, I'm in on that. I will buy that book, and I've bought the book, the audiobook to give it a listen, and the audio, the person doing the audio was just killing me, and I was just I can't sort of having that
sometimes because they just don't match what one envisions. So this is a perfectly responsible, accomplished narrator, but they're not the person in your head. So sometimes there's that tension where it's just not the way you imagine it, but you can't hear it differently because all of those choices are being
it's exactly that, and you just sort of just don't get it. Like Pierce Brown, he does the Red Rising series, and I'm so used to a certain way of it being, like, because I started listening to that on audiobook, and I can't remember the name of the actor now who does the voices. Slipped my mind. Oh well, it'll come to me. But I'm so used to him. The main character is a guy called Darrow, and I was just like so in on that character and how he sounded and how it should be and blah blah blah. And then they did this sort of dramatized version of it. I was like, oh sweet, so they've got different voices, because it's generally just this fella doing all of them. But yeah, they did a dramatized version of it with lots of different people, and they changed everything. My head just exploded and just went, this is not how it should be. This is definitely not how it should be. Even down to the female voices and stuff, where he was sort of like, and I was just, I can't deal with this, because this isn't the way it should be. And
it's like when someone remakes your favorite films, like, don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah
100%. Say about like the audiobook readers now, I listened to in the last few years the Star Wars. They'd done a series on the High Republic, which is the Jedi's about 100 years before. There's a guy that narrates it called Mark Thompson, and he is really good at the voices. He's able to bring all these different characters to life. He's got a great range on his voice as well, and it really does engage you into the work. And obviously because it's Star Wars as well, in the audiobooks they put a lot of the music in as well, so you almost like, it almost feels like you've got like a movie playing through your headphones. It's brilliant. But you really do get lost in that world. I love that sort of engagement. That is it almost feels like you're listening to a proper audio drama, but you're like, no, it's still just a novel, but this is just someone who is able to really bring it to life.
But we've been doing this since we had recorded media, right? Since the dawn of radio, we've been telling stories to each other.
Yeah, I remember listening to the Lord of the Rings, the BBC version of it, and just sort of, I got it from the library on tape, on cassette tapes, and I listened to it in my room, and just sat. I just remember being in my bed for. It had to be days. Like I listened to that. It had to be days. But I just remember just lying there and just like
was
zoned
that unabridged?
In. Unabridged, yeah. It was just completely all the different, because the BBC did it and they had different actors doing. I think a lot of them who did, I can't remember the fella's name. JonJo will probably know. Did the cartoon film that they did?
Oh yeah. Oh god, I can't remember the fella's name. Yeah. But yeah.
A lot of the actors from that were obviously in the BBC one as well, and it was just I just sort of have that memory. I've got a very clear memory of it, just sort of lying there in the dark at one point in time when the Battle of Pelennor Fields is going on, and I'm just sort of kind of listening to this whole thing going on, and being completely sort of like entrenched by it.
Ralph Bakshi was the director of the 70s. Yeah, but I remember saying about that because the Lord of the Rings animate one, my uncle bought that on DVD when we was in Florida when I was, I think I was like 14. You got to have a watch of this because I'd only just started reading Lord of the Rings. I hadn't watched any of the actual films yet that have been coming out in cinema. So I said, okay, I'll watch this. And if I only went by that film, I probably never would watch Lord of the Rings again in my life. I just found it really strange.
You did. It was strange, but I loved it, man. Like I think we talked about this, and I apologize, Kelly, because I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan, so I'm just going to go off on one probably. But
that's all right. I'm here for it. Was this the same? Did they also do that Hobbit animation?
I think he might have.
That haunted my childhood.
Yeah, that was
we
a
were
really
shown that when we were too young to be shown that.
Yeah,
and like
it's kind of like Watership Down, which was a really traumatic thing to watch as a child.
So it's not the same people, but it is. I think it was a similar. I think it was one of the same production companies, the Hobbit one. Yeah, I'm just looking at it now, and yeah, I remember watching this only a lot like within the last few years.
Okay.
And it's so weird. But they're saying that I think I'd still prefer that over the actual Hobbit trilogy that we got.
Yeah, well, we're less
the live action ones. You mean?
Yeah. I did not like.
I have
that
good
Hobbit
point.
trilogy.
You know, that's another thing I could probably yabber
there is.
on.
Don't get me wrong. It's not a complete disaster. There is some good stuff within that trilogy.
Yeah, I think
but you could easily cut that into one film.
Yeah, one. Well, thing is about it, The Hobbit is a short book. It doesn't elaborate on a lot. There's a lot of stuff the films fill in the gaps, which I don't mind because it just sort of like Gandalf just buggers off, and then the necromancers sort of kind of meant, and it's not. The inference is it's going to be Sauron and blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of stuff going on that sort of is in the background you don't know. And the film sort of expands on that side, which I don't mind. But 3 films was pretty unnecessary. And yeah, some of it was just a bit sort of like, yeah, did you need to do that? Why was that? This is just a bit of a money grab. And yeah, definitely wasn't happy as Lord of the Rings when it came out. I was just like, this is my childhood dream coming to fruition.
Yeah.
This was just like I'd grown up reading Lord of the Rings. My dad, and I've said this numerous times on this podcast, my dad read Lord of the Rings on his first date with my mother. He was that sort of, he had just got it, and I don't even know how it came about, but my mum says, your father read Lord of the Rings on our first date.
It's don't excommunicate me, please, but I read the trilogy for the first time a couple months ago.
Oh wow, okay.
And
yeah.
I started and could not have any peace until I finished the whole freaking thing.
Yeah.
But that was basically just a week where I did nothing but read.
Well, I did the same with Game of Thrones. Like I had no idea. Game of Thrones, I had sort of all I knew was I'm a massive Sean Bean fan. From the Sharp days, and because I'm massive into my Sharp books, so like Sean Bean, it's like, oh, he's on the TV. I was like, I love Sean Bean. He's going to be in this thing called Game of Thrones. It's filming in effectively my backyard in Northern Ireland, pretty much. They filmed all of it in the sort of local, like the forest, basically where my mum's house is. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a whirl. And they were already on, I think, 4 books. I think it was moving on to Dance for Dragons. That was just about to come out when it started filming, and it's like, I'll give these a whirl. And I shit you not, I sat for a month, 2 weeks of which was in Egypt when I was on holiday with my family. And I just read. I just sat by the pool and read the entire thing.
Yeah.
I read 5 books in a month because I was just completely zoned in to the whole thing.
They're not tiny books either.
Yeah, exactly. And that was it. All it did. Got up early, read all night, late, and rinse and repeat for 2 weeks. Just sort of just completely zoned in.
That's gorgeous.
I just remember one of the most stressing parts. I remember reading the Red Wedding part, and if you haven't listened, if you don't know what's happened in Red Wedding, then you're too late. I'm not giving you a spoiler warning, but I was getting to the Red Wedding part, and my sister and my dad, who had read it before me, were just sitting there looking at me because they knew about where I was, and they were both just staring at me, and I was like, "Why are you staring at me?" And I just gradually started to page, and I was just like, "Oh no, no, don't do this to me. I love Rob. No." It just got worse, and then it got worse and worse and worse, and I got the book, and I was just like, fuck this book. Brilliant time. And then they just laughing, and I said Red Wedding. I was like, yes, why did they do this? And then at the very end, it took me a while. I went for a swim to get my emotions back again.
Yeah.
I went for a swim, got back, and I carried on reading, and things sort of, other characters who sort of I wasn't too sort of happy. I was okay. One of my favorite characters was dead, and I was just like, I'm not happy about this, but it's okay because Jon Snow's okay. It's all right. He's fine. And then we get to the last book with Dance for Dragons, sort of not the end. It gets to the bit where they slit his throat, and I went, what the? And I was in the airport, and I just slammed the book down again. I said, what are they doing to me? Like, how dare they? And then I just couldn't read it for a month. I couldn't read it after that for a month. It took me a month to finish the last chapter in that book, because I was just like, they've done this. He's done this again to me. I can't deal with this. And yeah. So... But yeah, I hammered it like a month's worth of sort of, bar that last chapter, it took me a month to go through 5 books. And if you're really zoned into them, then yeah, there's no stopping them. It just,
Well, and with things like that, I knew if I put it down, I was never going to remember again who everyone was.
Yeah.
You just have to not stop.
It's the same with when you're talking like with Lord of the. Well, again, there's lots of characters in Game of Thrones as well, but with Lord of the Rings, you find, like, I've read the Silmarillion, read it, not listened to it. I've read it twice, just because the first time I didn't fully get it ingrained in my head, and the second time was just so I could sort of get something, because it starts off, everything's in sort of like your, the tongue of the Inari, and then you've got the tongue of elves, and then there's the different sort of sects of the different elves, and then the dwarven names and things, and you're just like, so this guy is this guy, and who's actually this guy, and trying to get all the names right, and it's super complicated. The Silmarillion is it's not that it's not engaging. It's just it's dense. It's very hard work to get through. And then you've got all the other books, like the unfinished tales and the Children of Hurin and all the other things and stuff that go along with it, that sort of expand upon this. And you're just like, you really got to sort of have a mindset to get into that sort of book. Sorry. Anyway, I will stop. I'll stop talking about it. I think I was just going to say, when Lord of the Rings film came out, I was absolutely just, because I'd watched the cartoon all my life as a kid. It obviously didn't finish off. It stopped at effectively the siege of Helm's Deep, and then went on to when the films came out, and I was just like, oh my god, this is my childhood dream come to fruition. I am made for this moment right now. And I remember it very specifically, 2000, I went to the Printworks in Manchester with my girlfriend at the time, and I just sat there in the most expensive seats I could get and zoomed in, and I clapped at the end of it. I was just like, I was super emotional. I was just like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I love it so much.
And still, one of my favourite facts about the Lord of the Rings film trilogy, all 3 of them films cost the same amount as it cost to make one Hobbit film.
Oh, madness, pure madness.
That's scary. But then obviously, when Lord of the Rings was being made, it was a lot more practical effects. It was a lot more.
Yeah, that was it. I didn't really like all the fact that they were CGI-ing so much in the Hobbit as well. I think the bigatures, as they called them within the first trilogy, like, I loved watching the sort of little documentary parts about all the sort of how they were making the Weta Workshop, making everything. And yeah, just the Hobbit, there was just too much CGI. It was just a bit overused. That was the one thing about I didn't like about sort of not the newer Star Wars, when the prequel trilogy for Star Wars came out. It was a bit too much CGI, less practical effects. They tried to reverse that with the more recent ones, but yeah, there's something to be said about, practical effects. It just feels a bit more tangible and real. Okay. So Kelly, have you got anything coming up that we might want to know about? Have you got any projects that you can talk about? Or
Not that I can share. I'm so sorry.
no.
See, these
But
damn
if you do want
NDAs.
to share some love for Bloober Team, they are nominated for several of the horror game awards, and that voting's open until Wednesday, I think. So yeah, if anybody wants to love on Bloober, they can vote. So.
Let's put it this way: Bloober Team have had, bear in mind, we're only going back not even 5 years. They've had the Medium, they've had the Silent Hill 2 remake, and now they've got Chronos. They've had 3 games that they've just knocked out the park. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next, which is going to probably be the Silent Hill 1 remake. But I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I've said this already, but I can't say enough nice things about this team. They're so gorgeous.
Amazing. Okay, so it's come to the most important part of the podcast. It is JonJo's. We haven't got any music for you yet, JonJo.
No, we're only about a year behind on trying to get.
Yeah, I keep on saying I'll do it, and I go
yeah.
But we basically do a mini pub quiz. JonJo will provide some options for you as in questions you may like to answer. Sort of like franchises like DC or Marvel or certain film franchise or something. You can choose one. He will then ask you 3 questions. Well, he asks both of us 3 questions, and the winner goes away
bragging rights.
with bragging rights and glory, and the loser leaves in ignominy and shame. And
I'm fairly confident I'm going to be that person.
Well, let's put it this way.
Unless one of your categories is Stephen Sondheim musicals, but like.
Oh, do you know what? I had to cut that out for pacing. No, let's put it this way. Matt, for ages, he begged me to do a sharp round, and he only got 1 out of 3.
Yeah, I left the podcast just feeling so much shame.
And we didn't see it for 2 months after that.
I'm feeling it already. I think I'm destined to crash out of this quiz. But,
I'm sure you will be fine. So,
oh yes, but we've only just met.
So, we have got. I've got 4 rounds. You can pick from. You can pick one of these. So the rounds tonight are the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Lord of the Rings, Breaking Bad, and for some reason I wrote this, Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
You didn't do one. You should have done one on Chronos or something.
I was going to do one on Chronos, but
that would have been embarrassing if I couldn't answer. It's slightly less embarrassing.
I was just thinking, maybe one day we might want Kelly to come back on. I really don't want to think, they wound me up. They gave me questions that I obviously couldn't answer. I'm not that involved in it.
I mean, we are still living in this world, but and so I choose a category.
You choose one. Yeah.
You choose the category first, Kelly.
Only because, like, we've established Matt's expert status on Lord of the Rings, and I feel like unless you're asking very basic questions, I'm not.
You could try and sink my ship, you see, because generally what Pete does, is goes to the ones that I want, and then I'm like,
I'm inclined towards Scooby-Doo, which I also I think am going to crash out of because the last time I saw it I was 12. But at least we can have a laugh at that rather than me embarrassingly stepping on the toes of like the exquisiteness of Lord of the Rings.
Oh no, you put a lot of pressure on me now. I don't know if I want Lord of the Rings.
You've read this man twice. Like, I'm not worried about you. Do you want to go first and show me how it's done?
No. You do Scooby. It's always guess first. I follow up last, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, all right, Kelly, here we go then. So, Scooby-Doo, question.
I'm embarrassed already. Okay.
Question number 1. Norville Rogers is the real name of which character?
Pass. I
Have you got
I
options there?
No,
Pete?
no,
Have you got
no,
pop-
that's
I think the only character whose name I remember is Velma. So and I bet
No,
that's not it.
Norval's going to be a guy's name. Have you
I
got
know.
Has he got multiple choice?
I was going to do multiple choice, but then I thought if I give multiple
You thought
choice,
surely she'll know that.
well, do you know what? I only found this out as well because there was that really, really bad Velma TV series,
Yeah.
and yeah, there was a certain character, and they went, "Oh no, we're not calling him this. We're calling him Norville." It's like,
Okay.
what?
I don't think I know that
So
either.
there's Scooby Doo character, and it's a male. So
Oh, it's got okay. So it's going to be Fred, or it's going to be. I'm sorry, I'm jumping in on Kelly's question here, but
I'm delighted that you have. I did try to warn JonJo that I was out of my element in a pub quiz situation.
so you're going to be. It's going to be Fred, or it's got to be Shaggy or something, isn't it?
Shaggy, of course, Shaggy. I remember Shaggy. From age 12.
But part of me feels like for such a name, it's got to be
so
something.
you think Fred might be living a double life?
Yeah, part of me feels like it got to be Fred because he's so like he's the cool one, isn't he? He's the archetypal sort of 70s cool or 60s cool guy.
Yeah.
So
go on, Kelly. So Fred or Shaggy?
Just to be contrary and to cover our bases, I'll go Shaggy because I think Shaggy and Norville are ridiculous in similar ways.
That is correct.
way.
Yeah. Norville. I don't know how they come up with the name Norville, but it's
Yeah, I thought it might be too obvious to have a Shaggy because it's like
I'd love it if Fred was actually a double agent.
Yeah,
like,
I just thought
like...
it's got to be like Fred or something because he's such he's like the leader and he's a cool guy, but his name's Norville.
That's what it is. He tried to get away from that crowd. It's like yeah. Okay, here we go. Question number 2, and this is a multiple choice one, so it might help a little bit on this one. Who wrote the 2002 live action Scooby Doo film and its 2004 sequel? Was it A, James Gunn, B, Scott Derrickson, or C, Wes Anderson?
B.
B? No, unfortunately, that is incorrect.
Is
James
it A?
Gunn wrote.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he wrote
Wow.
Scooby Doo and its sequel. I know.
I had no idea.
It's one of them weird ones that it's how why? But he did.
We both knew it wasn't Wes Anderson, though, right, Matt?
No, but could you? I'd love to see a Wes Anderson Scooby Doo.
Part of me
film,
wanted to
Wouldn't
say
that
Wes
be
Anderson
fun?
just because I was like, yeah, but
I think that'd be amazing.
because I don't even think I've seen a full the Scooby Doo movie in full. To be fair, so I don't know. I was. Just
They're not.
thinking,
They're not good. They're really not good. Okay, and I think this is quite an easy one to finish off. Question number 3: What breed of dog is Scooby Doo?
odd.
Great Dane.
It is Great Dane. So Kelly, I'll give you on that 2 out of 3.
I think I've only really earned 1, but I appreciate that.
Well, you still got the right
two.
answer. We didn't actually say that was the answer for Shaggy. So
If I fail at this one, then I am totally calling that point.
So Matt, I'm going
100% calling that.
Matt, do you know what? I think I've actually made the Lord of the Rings one really easy. So
Oh, because you thought you were going to take pity on me.
I honestly thought Matt was going to go, no, go on, go Lord of the Rings. But yeah, I think Matt's going to know this one. But I'll take it you're going for Lord of the Rings, Matt.
Well, what were the other options?
Well, no, you can go for it. Marvel Cinematic Universe or Breaking Bad.
As much
Go
as
for Lord of the Rings, because now I want to know what the questions are.
Okay, yeah, we'll do Lord of the Rings. The guest wants me to do Lord of the Rings. We'll do Lord of the Rings. Though if I get these wrong, it'll be another sharp incident. I might have to hang myself. But yeah, okay.
Question number 1: Which actress plays Galadriel?
Oh, I do know this. Okay.
Do you know what? Oh my god, it's gonna clip my mind. It's one of these.
No, it hasn't.
Oh,
There's 2 of them that I always get sort of like mixed up, and it's when I go for it is. Oh god, I actually can't think of the name off the top of my head now, and I should do.
Since you gave me help on the last one, like, can I?
It's
show
not.
you my card.
Yeah,
I would write it down and pass you a note if we were in analog media.
it is. Oh God, I can see her face. She's. It's just I can't get the name off the top of my tongue. It is. Oh God, I think if I got. It's not. This is it. I keep on thinking Gwyneth Paltrow. It's not Gwyneth Paltrow. I know it's not. I know it. I know it's not. I know it's not. I'm just. It's but her and this person. I keep whenever I think of them. For some reason, I think of them together. I can't sort of get the other one in my head. It is. I had it there. Gwyneth.
No, it's not Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, I'm not saying Gwyneth, what's her name? I had it there. Oh no! Right? Can I? Oh, I'm not going to be able to go back to this now, and it's going to absolutely haunt me. That's going to absolutely haunt me. The name...
I like that Kelly's trying to sound out the answer as well.
Yeah.
I was trying to help, but
no, because I should know it. I've got it. I know it. Of course I know it. Of course I know it. It is Pleh. Oh my God. Give me the first. I'm gonna have to have a phone a friend. Give me the first letter
of the first name or the surname. Right, first letter of the first name is C.
Is it B? Is it B?
For the surname,
the second name.
The second name begins. Yep.
First name. Oh God, what's her first name?
Well, I told you what the first name begins with, but it's not a conventional beginning to the name.
Why can't I get? Why is it just gone from my head? Bearing in mind the amount of times I've seen that film and I've seen her act. Why can't I think of the first name?
If I asked you who
Cate Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett, there we go.
There you go. Oh my God, that was horrendous.
that was probably the most painful one I've ever done. I thought that was the easiest.
Oh no, man, seriously.
Well.
But the thing is, it's for some reason I have her and Gwyneth Paltrow beside each other for some, and every time I think of Cate Blanchett, I think Gwyneth Paltrow for unknown reason. There's no similarity, but in my head, my ADHD brain has linked them together in some weird way, and I can't unentangle them, and then it just go because automatically I think it's not. Oh, so yeah, there we go.
Oh, I've still got 2 more questions.
I know. I hope there's not as bad as that.
All right, question number 2. What creature does Gandalf fight on the bridge of Khazad-dûm in the Fellowship of the Ring?
Shall I give you its name?
Well,
Durin's Bane, the last Balrog.
Yeah. I did just have the Balrog, but okay, that's fine.
Durin's
You're not
Bane.
getting extra credit for that. Oh goodness! All right, and
as long as it's not actors' names, it's okay.
That's right. Well, I don't know if you're going to like number 3 then. So, due for release in 2027, The Hunt for Gollum is to be written and directed
Andy
by
Serkis.
which? There we go. Okay, you got that one straight away.
Yeah, I'm. That's one of those ones where I'm slightly. I don't know. I part of me wants this. I just want to will it to be amazing, but it's like, is it something that needs to be done? So we'll see. I don't know. That moment, that sort of, it's that section where like Gandalf's off, sort of in Gondor, and he's being tortured, and he's being tortured by the Nazgul. We'll see.
So, I mean, technically, if we give you Cate Blanchett, you did get 3 out of 3.
Yeah, we'll give it to. I don't think I deserve Cate Blanchett because it was very sort of. Yeah, I get the name just completely left my head, and I was just I can't think of this name. But yeah, so I'll take a draw. I'll take a draw.
I think that's generous. But,
yeah, that was another fun quiz.
Well, there you go. If it's a draw, JonJo, you have to have a tiebreaker.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was a draw. I think I lost fair and square.
Oh, we could try a tiebreaker.
I do like a good tiebreaker.
I've already lost.
All right. Okay, let's go with tiebreaker, and I'm gonna go by something off the top of my head, and I'll ask you each for your answer, and I'll tell you who is the closest.
Okay.
So, as of the release of Fantastic Four: First Steps that came out on July 2025, how many films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe have been released?
Oh no, because we went through having to name them all once.
Yes, you named them all, but I'm not telling you to name all this time.
That was horrendous.
Oh, that was 20. That was like 25 minutes of my life. I'm never getting back.
We tried to do it in chronological order and failed.
No, you actually didn't do too bad. I think there was only one. I think you got misplaced, or
there was a lot of nudging in that one. I can't even.
Yeah, but even so, I was happy that you got them.
God. So how many numbers?
So for context, the first film is Iron Man from 2008, all the way up to Fantastic Four: First Steps, July 2025. So within 17 years, how many films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe have been released?
I'm trying to math this out now. Having watched all of them, but I can't think of the number in my head.
So
14.
Kelly's going for 14.
14.
I think it's more. I think there's got to be more than that. Like, if part of me feels like there's been a couple coming in over a year, like.
And obviously, just to make it clear, so any Marvel Cinematic Universe film is ones that have been directly produced either by I think it was it under Paramount or whoever from the first few, and then everything else was under the Disney umbrella from 2010.
So we're not doing the Hulk. We're not doing Incredible Hulk and things like that.
No, sorry. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So everything that was from the first bit. So so Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, that was in 2008, and then everything after that was Disney. So yeah.
Okay. So
Matt, what's your guess?
Okay, so we got Iron Man, Incredible Hulk. We got 3. Sorry, we got 1.
Right, all I'm going to say is please don't name every one of them.
I'm just trying to do some quick math in my head. I say quick math, it makes me ill. But Incredible Hulk's only got 1. Hulk's 1 effectively. I know there's more, but 1 that we count towards the universe. 3 Iron Men, Civil War. 3 Avengers. 2 Captain Americas. 3 Captain Americas. Civil War was a Captain America one. 2 Black Panthers. 2 Doctor Strange. I'm not even counting these up. I've just been sort of naming.
I know you're just reading out numbers.
I've just been going out numbers and not even counting them up. The 1, 3.
Kelly's gone. She's like, I've had enough of this now. I'm out the door.
3, 6, 9. Okay, I'm just going to say a number. I'm going to go for 25. That's off the top of my head. 25.
25. Okay, I can tell you that as of now, there has been 37.
Ooh,
wow.
I knew it was going to be close. Part of me was going to double the 17 because I'm pretty sure there was 2.
So
yeah.
Basically, you were closer if you added both your scores together. So, you would have only been 2 away if you had added your scores together.
And I mathed that out. I reckon I could have got it. But yeah, I knew that it had to be a lot because like 17, 1 a year is well too low because it was just like there was more because there's been a couple a year and stuff. I reckon. But yeah, okay, 35, nice. Okay, cool.
But
all right,
37,
yeah, okay. I'll take the closest win, even though I was off by a fair bit. But yeah, I'll take that. I'll justify my Kate Blanchett. I can't believe it. I'm just gonna, yeah, there you go. Okay, well, Kelly, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. It's been lovely to chat with you guys.
If you've got anything else coming up, by all means, please do join us again.
Thank you.
Otherwise, have yourself an amazing night, an amazing final month of the year, and hopefully we will speak to you soon.
Thanks.
For tonight, I've been Matt Geary. With me has been JonJo Cosgrove.
It has indeed. I'll be going back on this before I get back to bed. That's Chronos for everyone that's just listening, not watching the video.
And our special guest tonight, Kelly Burke.
Thank you.